What's up, everybody? John Charmijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to show it to you right now. This is the debut album from the band Cystgurgle, entitled Ubi Pus, Ibi Fermento. This is released on P2. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Bangkok, Thailand, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very raw, fast, pathological hybrid of both gore grind and gore noise. Yeah. My first introduction to this band was by way of a four-way split that was released through the label New Standard Elite, entitled Asian Pathological Vomit Gore Primacy. This was a four-way split that had a whole bunch of really unique Asian gore grind / gore noise projects, like excrudiation, cardiomyopathy, cancrum oris, and of course the band I'm going to be talking to you about today, Cystgurgle. Now, what intrigued me about Cystgurgle was the fact that two people involved in that project are also involved in probably one of the best and most notable current bands in the New Standard Elite roster. That band, of course, being Ecchymosis, Panlawad and Tawid, respectively. They play in Ecchymosis, but they also are involved with Cystgurgle. And to describe Cystgurgle would have to be one of those situations where you would have to literally hear it for yourself in order to understand what it is I'm going to be talking to you about here, because it is just some of the most shrill, loud, raw, anti-music sort of music you would ever hear. Very loud, rattling bass, pitch-shifted vocals, endless ping snare and blast beats. It is just an absolutely intense listening experience. And I've come to find out that this project had been around for quite a good while and had released a whole bunch of splits, EPs, assorted other releases, and very much a consistent working project in terms of their musical output, in terms of their creativity with their song titles, the organs, the gory artwork, just an overall really, really crazy sort of band. And of course, gore noise is one of those fringe music genres that you see people get very much into, but you don't really see a lot of people talk too much about it. I mean, it's very much different from gore grind. We're not talking about Last Days of Humanity or Regurgitate or anything like that. We're talking about bands like Anal Birth or Vomitoma or Dysmenorrheic Hemorrhage or Oozing Pus or Philomedusa. Bands of that nature. Bands that are very much anti-music when it comes to their delivery. It's just very, very raw, primitive, and chaotic sounding stuff. But with all of the stuff Cystgurgle had been doing throughout the years, we finally get to their very first official full-length album entitled Ubi Pus, Ibi Fermento. It's 30 tracks, and it clocks in at around 19 minutes in length, and pretty much this album is broken up into three different parts. Empyema thoracis, Goodsall's Law in Proctological Disease, and Forming the Phlegmon. Now, I'm not going to say the full names of these songs because you can check out the Bandcamp link. I'm going to leave you in the description so you can figure that out for yourself. But yeah, like I said, it starts off with a doctor speaking into some sort of a voice recorder, going about his business. And then as soon as that gets in the way, you have these 30 to 40 second song bursts of just straight up intense raw noise. And then it repeats over again with another note-taking, audio-taking, and then more of the intense stuff that this album is going to bring. Holy shit, this is difficult to talk about here. And then the last time we get the audio clip of the doctor talking, and then more of the crazy, crazy noise. Because like I said, this is pretty much raw, primitive sounding stuff. It's drum and bass stuff, very loud, rattling stuff, The way this bass sounds is just incredibly nasty sounding. I absolutely love the approach that they're going for here with this bass sound. It almost verges on being really, really loud and chaotic. I wouldn't want to say that this album has riffs, because I don't think that riffs are the main part of what makes this album worth checking out. I mean, this bass tone is incredibly rattling. It's incredibly crazy. I love the approach that the bassist goes for with this. The main star of this Cystgurgle album is the drumming. Palawad, Gordick, whatever you want to refer to him as, he is the main star of this album as far as I'm concerned. His drum performance is incredibly relentless. There is no rest period. I mean, aside from like the little interludes, there's just no quit with this guy. It is just endless blast beats, endless fills, very loud emphasis on pangy snare. I really, really love the snare tone on this damn album. It is just so relentless and so over the top. I love this drum performance a lot, and he really makes you want to pay attention to every single song blast that appears on here. I mean, a lot of these songs range from no less than 20 to 40 seconds, with some of the longer tracks coming towards the very end of this particular album. I mean, I think there's some songs that verge past a minute and 30 seconds towards the end of this album. But that's as long as it goes here. The main story of this album is just these 20 to 40 second song blasts of just rattling bass, endless blast beats. And then, of course, the one thing that holds this album together also are the vocals. These undecipherable, pitch-shifted, gurgling, vomiting vocals that come near towards this album. It is just super over the top. That's one thing that I also enjoy about this Cystgurgle album, is the fact that it's so over the top and it's so crazy. And I really, really appreciate the attention to detail that they're bringing forward with their own sort of style of sound. I don't know if I want to call it just sounds or music. This is definitely going to be something that you're going to have to think about when you listen to something like this, because it is just so damn insane and it is awesome. I mean, yeah. Overall, if you're looking for an album with style, depth, substance, look elsewhere, because this album will definitely lower your brain cells. This is an album that is going to make you feel that much dumber after listening to it. And I say that in the most positive ways possible. This is definitely some low IQ level music, and this is just exhilarating. If you are a fan of gore grind, if you are a fan of gore noise, you will absolutely love this Cystgurgle album. It is just so much fun and so over the top. I mean, if you love this sort of blast beat heavy, pitch shifted vocals, rattling loud bass, it is just such an over the top listening experience, and I cannot recommend this enough. This is definitely worth looking into. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you some links in the description box as to how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will leave you a link to the Cystgurgle Bandcamp page where you can listen to this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. You can stream it digitally, and it is available physically in multiple sorts of formats. Lymphatic Sexual Orgy Records, I believe a label based out of Mexico, is doing the CD. 5on3 Records is doing the tape version. And what I have in my hands is the vinyl version put out through the very reliable P2 Records. There you can see this really over-the-top photography and artwork, uncoated stock on this jacket. There you see the Cystgurgle logo right there, super badass. Track listings and information. Comes with a printed sheet here with some words and more crazy photography, band member photos, everybody looking all cool with gas masks and everything, credits and information. And the vinyl version is limited to 100 copies, and they all come on standard black vinyl. Yeah, very groove heavy black vinyl. Yeah, unbelievable quality with this one. At the time of filming this video, I believe there are still copies available, but definitely get a hold of this album if you want to try out something a little daring and a little risky. So, again, the album is Ubi Pus, Ibi Fermento by Cystgurgle. This is released on P2 on vinyl. Definitely check this one out. And for a score, fuck it. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. out of sheer craziness, out of sheer over-the-top entertainment value, this is a high-level gore noise album, and I cannot recommend it enough. So if you've happened to have heard this album, let me know what you think about it and how you feel about it, or any of you guys into Cystgurgle, definitely let me know. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. Until next time, Army Hill out.